we have WWE Mattel Basic 58, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. This is the legend in this particular line. I believe he is the only legend. Mattel is starting to include one legend, it seems, in their bigger lines, which I am a fan of because I like some of the other stuff a lot better than I do the newer stuff. As you can see, we have yet again another John Cena in this line, as well as a Bayley and a Kevin Owens that we will be reviewing sometime in the coming days. So, with that being said, let's open it up. When I think White Trunk Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, I recall the time period where Mr. Wonderful turned on my favorite Hulk Hogan in 1986, late 86, early 87, around there, for nothing more than not answering a phone call, apparently. This Mr. Wonderful does have the classic Mr. Wonderful design on the back of his tights, if this camera would pick that up. And it also has a pretty good, yet somewhat cartoonish, Mr. Wonderful head scan with a very interesting chin. He looks like the dude from Maniac Cop, but nonetheless, it looks like Paul Orndorff enough. The joints on this one have basic movement, as one could say, and it's pretty stiff, which is good because you ain't got to worry about it falling all over the place. I'm a fan of Elites, I guess, although they are higher. They have more movement, but if you just want to own a certain character in the line, you can't go wrong much with the basics because they, at least more times than not, are pretty stiff. Even if the particular knee pads that Mr. Wonderful has here and his very ripped Lex Luger-ish body mode won't allow the knee movement to move as that well, although finally I guess you can work it out if you keep trying, as you see there. Of course the knees move and all that good stuff. All in all, very cool Mr. Wonderful figure. There is an old Legends Mr. Wonderful that is, of course, the elite type for the body, but that one is going to cost you a lot more by this point unless you buy him loose somewhere. So if you just want a Mr. Wonderful in your collection, might as well grab the Basics 58 Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.